Hey, sports and dress fans, happy Super Bowl Sunday. It's the big day. This is what we've all been waiting for. I'm Dave, and he's not yet. I'm sorry, I'm Chuck. He's not yet Dave. And I think he's having a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover before it's even played. So Dave will be joining us here in a minute. And there he is. Let me get him into the studio. Hey, better late than everybody. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
This is awesome. This is what the whole year has been we've been waiting for the whole year. It's here. It's in my neck of the woods, and I guess what? I never got out to the stadium this weekend. We've been working on a lot of projects around the house, and just didn't get out there, with all the craziness. But no, good thing. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really good football game today, and even we'll get into it. The betters kind of agree that this is really going to be too close a game to call. For the most part, you got to pick a favorite, so they did, and we'll get into our picks. But I'll go ahead and share that Vegas does. I looked this morning, still having the Eagles at 1.5. It's kind of to me, it's kind of a big deal. Just because Patrick Mahomes has been here, he's won it, and they kind of know the drill, and to see the Eagles come in as a favorite, so kind of a big thing. But anyway, how you doing, man? What you got on tap for today?
Good, man. We got a lot of family. That's why I was running a little late. I was cooking up a little Super Bowl breakfast for everybody and getting everything going over here. And we're going to have a house full. I got my in laws, my parents here. A couple other people might stop in and have a little Super Bowl Sunday, trying to get my food set. We're just gonna do lots of snacks, chips and salsa, charcuterie board, wings. We're kind of going that bar food route, and meats, and a
Yeah,
lot of meats and cheeses and chips and
meats and
crackers and
cheeses.
dips and drinks, and get pretty regular on the drink. Of course, we got to get Cindy, the viewer of the program, her peach whiskey, and so
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
that for her, and going to be making red beers for Jim, and the other Jim. So my dad's Jim and my father-in-law's Jim. So we had Jim and Jim. Um, Me and my father-in-law probably have some craft beers. I'll run out to the store and get us a six-pack chair, and a lot of good food and drink, and hopefully a great game, hopefully a great halftime show. Um, Interested to see the ads this year, see if there's any winners, of course, like there is every year. And we were
Right.
watching last night some just build up to the game. They had stuff on the NFL Network all day about the game today, and then also past things. And they did a little segment on past ads, so past commercials and how much they were and what's. And I was sitting by my kid, and the um, recordings of the old Bud Bowls, Bud Light versus Budweiser, the beer bottles playing each other. And I told him, I said, yeah, you see this commercial? I said, when I was a kid, probably your age, he's 14. I said, they had the first Bud Bowl, and that was the one that they were highlighting. I said, and then in subsequent years, I said, you knew another Bud Bowl was coming. I said, I think they had 4 or 5 of them. And so every year you were like, it was the Puppy Bowl before the Puppy Bowl. Like, you looked forward to the Bud Bowl. Who was going to win this year? Budweiser or, Bud Light. And then, so he thought that was kind of funny. I go, yeah, this beer commercial was kind of a big deal, once it got started. People really liked it. And so that was fun to show him that. But yeah, we're just ready to have a great day. How about you?
Yeah, we have family coming over. There's only going to be four of us, and but doesn't mean we're doing it small. I just about 10 minutes before the show, I didn't get them got put on 3 racks of ribs on the smoker, so
Awesome.
they'll be going for about 6 hours. We'll do a 3-2-1, 3 hours like this, 2 hours wrapped, hour unwrapped, and with some apple juice spritzed in there. But yeah, so we got that. We've got wings. We've got just like you. We've got some pretzel bites. We'll dip from cheese and mustards and chips and dips and corn salad, just all kinds of stuff, just like you guys. But Yeah, so I'm excited about it, and I haven't had the smoker running in a while, so it was always kind
Yeah.
of nice to be able to get that. But yeah, just really excited for the game. I just think this is going to be a really good game today. So just I maybe if we get into our picks, a couple of questions, about the game, maybe, just about the players, what we might see, but. Um, one of the questions that I came up with today was which quarterback do you think is more important to the team today? Like if say one goes down hurt in the first minute of the game, right? On either side, which quarterback do you think is more important to the team to still see their team be able to win today?
Really, I would have to say Jalen Hurts, just because of what he gives you with his legs too and that threat. I mean, we saw him with the 49ers defense. I mean, they didn't look like the same defense at all playing against Jalen Hurts. I mean, Fred Warner was basically stuck in concrete, standing in the middle of the field because of that. And I didn't expect that or plan to see that, but with that run game, there's so much of a threat of him. And I think, then you look at the backup, you have, Minshew, who's just kind of up and down. I mean, he can either have a real good game or he can have turnovers and not play so well. But we already saw Chad Henne when
Right.
Mahomes went down with the ankle, led them on a 98-yard drive, and that was the difference in the game because they won by a touchdown or less in that game. So that one drive he had for 98 yards made all the difference. So I think right now I would say Hurts is going to be the more valuable one just from those those instances I've seen recently from Henne being able to lead the team on a 98-yard drive, and I don't know if that's Garner's that guy though. He's that dude. He's that wild card though, where you could see him like pull something off in a Super Bowl. Like he's got that
Right.
kind of, like I said, he's very inconsistent, but he's one of those guys that can turn it on and like play an amazing game out of the blue and just kind of. But I just can't count on him as much as Henne. I think Henne won't take as many risks to allow for turnover, things like that. So yeah, I think Hurts is a little bit more important in what he does with his legs. I think he's just a little bit, but it's close. But I think he's a little bit more important.
Yeah, I'd actually probably go to the other side of the fence there, just because Patrick Mahomes does so much on his own to extend plays, to move the pocket, things that Henne came in that game, took him right down, scored 7 points when Mahomes hurt his ankle and was out the rest of the half. But I still think that with the Eagles defense and their rush, I think they would get to Henne, and I just don't think that the Kansas City front line, offensive line is going to really slow up uh, the Eagles today, and so having Mahomes being able to move around and do what he does to extend plays and make things happen like he does, I just kind of think that maybe Mahomes is a little more uh, uh, important to his team, I guess, to be healthy throughout the game. What do you think? What do you think about maybe defense? Who's got better defense going? I mean, we had the Jones guy. He won the Defensive Player of the Year. Didn't think that was going to happen over Micah Parsons or Nick Bosa, but he won it. I guess you just got to go to the Super Bowl to win an award, right? Helps. So,
Yeah.
who do you think's got the best defense going into today?
I definitely think it's the Eagles. I think they have a better secondary. They got Darius Slay back there. They got some really good corners. And then the defensive line is just so deep. I mean, that move that the Eagles made, bringing in Sue, and another veteran, defensive lineman at the end of the year, and the fact that they're, still potentially could break the all-time season sack record.
Yeah.
They got Reddick that flies in through the side for extra pass rush. And then they can just, that defensive line's so strong that it helps everybody else out. And with, if Mahomes really can't move as well as he, should be able to with that ankle still or whatever, that's going to be really tough for him to get away from because they're very aggressive with Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. I mean, they have so many guys that can come at you. It's not just like, with the Niners, we have Nick Bosa, right? Like, he gets most of the pressure, Armstead every once in a while. But there's like 4 dudes on the Eagles that could get you at any pass play. I mean, any one of them could beat their man and get to you and ruin a play. For the Chiefs, they have Chris Jones. I mean, they don't have a lot of other guys
Right.
that are, so I think just because of the depth of the Eagles line, I would give it to the Eagles.
Yeah, I'd agree with you here. And Trap a lot. Thanks for watching the show. But Eagles got the best defense, but he thinks, or Trap a lot thinks that the Kansas City is going to be winning it this year. It's a nice safe bet, and we'll get into our picks here in a little bit. But I do. I think the Eagles have a fantastic defense, and I think that's they have a great defense and a great run game, and a lot of things really stack up on their side. But again, we forget about Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. We forget about the players that we thought that the Chiefs would fall on their face with Tyreek Hill leaving, and it didn't slow them down. They didn't miss a beat. They're still throwing the ball deep. So Kansas City, I think, really just is going to have to score a lot of points today. I think that's on the radar. It's like, hey, we can't get into a grinded out game with these guys because we will lose the game in a large fashion. So it's not going to be about sustaining long drives. To me, it's not going to be about sustaining long drives. And but it which really means this could be a wide open game. If Kansas City is just like scoring without issue, that means that the Eagles are going to have to do the same. Hey, one thing I forgot is that we are Football Beer. That's why we're here, and I've been sipping on it because I've been enjoying it. But
I'm gonna run and grab my beer while you talk about your beer.
all
It's
right, man.
downstairs. I had to put it in the fridge this morning because
All
there's
right.
one that is not gonna be good, not cold. So I'll be
Oh,
right
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. So basically, we're Football Beer. That's why we're here. And so we each week we highlight a beer that we've chosen. And I'm here in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Super Bowl. This is where I'm at, and the Arizona Cardinals are hosting, or the stadium is hosting this year's Super Bowl. So this week I've got a local beer out of Tempe, Arizona. It is from the I forgot the name of it, the Shop Beer Company, brewed and packaged here in Tempe or down in Tempe. This is Church Music IPA, and kind of thought it was a cool can. Drew my attention off of the shelf yesterday when I was out looking. Picked up a couple of local brews, but this is the one that's going to make the show for today. This is a 6.7 and comes in a pint size. It's a nice hazy IPA, and it's got a nice citrus taste to it, so it's enjoyable. So this is Chuck's beer of the week for our show. Dave will be right back with his, and while I do that, I'm just going to whip my whistle a little bit. But we got a lot going on here in Glendale. I mean, we got the Super Bowl, we got the Waste Management PGA Open. News this week that Kevin Durant is now a team member of the Phoenix Suns. So I mean, sometimes you don't think about maybe the Phoenix area, Arizona, being a sports mecca, but realistically, we have a great. Hey, Nathan, thanks for joining the show, buddy. And Dave just went to get his beer because he bought it this morning, had to throw it in the fridge and try to cool it up a little bit, chill it a little bit. So it looks like he is back. But thanks, Nathan, for joining the show as always. Good to see you, man. So, Dave, you're back. Is it chill enough to share and enjoy?
Feels nice. Feels nice. So let me take a little sip. Oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for. So I do like this brewery. Shared it on the show a few times. Figueroa Mountain here in California, and this is a Santa Barbara Citrus Shandy.
Shandy? You don't find those often.
So it is a beautiful little breakfast beer, nice little citrus flavor, good orange flavor. It's 4.3%. And yeah, I could have this in the mornings. So it's out of Buellton, California is where Figueroa Mountain is. And yeah, it is kind of the perfect, like, if you're a guy, you don't want a mimosa, you don't want that sparkly champagne stuff. I would say this would be the equivalent that you could have as your brunch
There you go.
mimosa beer, this Santa
There you
Barbara
go.
citrus shandy. But yeah, it's really good.
Nice, nice. So I was just I did my beer. I was catching people up on just what a sports mecca we have here right now in Glendale and Scottsdale. We got the Super Bowl. We've got the Waste Management Open, and news this week that we now have Kevin Durant. So we will be winning a championship this year, and so. Nathan wants to share that I told you the Eagles will pull through. So Nathan, at the beginning of the year, before we even did our first show of the season, we were talking about doing picks, and he gave his full roster of or who's going to win everything this year. Nathan, I have to ask, did you have this? Just remind me, did you actually have the Eagles making the Super Bowl? He also shares that he is sipping on a. I'm gonna wait for it to come up. I'm sipping on a San Francisco Bay French roast again. That very nice. I've already had my few cups this morning, and so Nathan thinks he believes so that he did pick, and also Trap a Lot. Hey God, bless you both. I better 25K on KC. There's no lie from what God showed me. Man, put it down. See how it goes, and hope it works out for you. But yeah, so. Anywho, I mean, just so much stuff going on around us today. I watched the Waste Management yesterday. Saw John Rahm pick it up from 8 under to get within 1. He was 2 back. Had to save a par at the end. I mean, 18th hole, the guy hits 2 bunkers, bunkers, and he still gets par. Par 4. It's not a par 5. Par 4.
He had at least 3 holes where he saved par, and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And I was thinking about that the other day because he hit a drive, way out into the sand in one where he had, brush right behind his swing where I didn't even know if he'd get a full swing, but he did, and he didn't hit that one very good out. But then he saved it by just hitting a moon ball and dropping it right by the hole, to save a par. But he had like 3 or 4 pars that he saved yesterday, and all I was thinking is, I've seen some different Tiger Woods documentaries and, special little things about Tiger Woods, and I've heard it multiple times that people say, Tiger saving birdie or saving par on a real bad hole or something is like his favorite thing. If he can scramble and save par when it looks like there's no way he's going to do that, that's like his favorite thing in golf is saving, a couple bad shots on a hole and still getting a par. And that's all I was thinking. I was like, oh man, Rahm's doing that Tiger thing, because there was at least 2 out of 4 of them, like half of them, where I was like, oh yeah, this is bogey. This got to be bogey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's dropping a shot here, and nope, he figured it out, and that was really impressive.
Well, even I think he had the longest putt on 16, right? In the Coliseum, where everybody's sitting there watching. 20,000 fans are sitting there watching to get a hole in one, right? And it just happened to be the last guy of the day that gets within 2 feet of the hole, and so they cheered like it was a hole in one and threw their cups and beers and everything down. But anyway, I mean, yeah, but he makes a 40-foot putt on 16. That it's like, okay, he's gonna putt it up there close. He'll for par. And when he hit it, I'm like, oh man, that thing's gonna come up short. That's gonna come. I mean, from TV, you don't see how flat or any of the angle of the green, but when he hit it, I'm like, oh, there's no chance that ball's getting there to the hole. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of weaned right over and just caught the front lip and fell in for a 40, in the Coliseum. Of course, being, an ASU alum from here, Rahm is just, he's so popular. And last year he put on an ASU jersey on the 16th. I mean, had a lot of fun with it. So I'm really pulling for him today. Scheffler has just been solid. He's got had a 2-stroke lead going into today. but realistically, I think Scheffler only improved his score by one stroke yesterday. So if Rahm can just pull in some birdies and Scheffler just does what he did yesterday, um, it'll be the same. So lucky guy here. You're going to be playing TPC on Tuesday. Man, if it doesn't rain, right? It's supposed to rain here tomorrow and Tuesday, and be cold. But I would, if they allow it in the rain, I had a chance to play that, I would be definitely playing it before they tore all that stuff down. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And I played Friday with Matt, and because of everything that's going on, there's I'm just gonna call it Super Bowl and Waste Management Open. What do you want to call them? Rate adjustments for green fees. Of course, I normally play. It was like $40 more. It was already kind of expensive, but it was even $40 more on top of that, and it was an hour away from the TPC or whatever. But yeah, anyway, so good for you, man. He does it every year. Nathan, man, I don't know if I want to play with you. I don't think I'm in your class. Although I do play with the PGA Pro. But yeah, Wigwam, $880. I mean, everything was crazy. We played a course that during the summer, it's of course summer rates are I love playing the summer because it's so cheap. Coyote Lakes, it's like 40, 45. Now it's like $90 normally, and it was 125 Friday when we played, and just for the weekend. Right? Just because there's so many people in here, golf courses are just jacking the prices up. But hey, hey, Kim, happy Super Bowl Sunday. Thanks once again, our faithful viewers. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you also, and hope you enjoy the game as well. And may the best team win, which Dave and I are going to decide in a minute. And I may think that we may actually differ on this. So we're going to see. So what is yeah, it is amazing for our economy. I mean, Phoenix, just to have all this stuff now, and also now it's like I hadn't really thought about going to watch a basketball game at live, but now that KD's here, I mean, I love Booker and Chris Paul. I love what Phoenix has been doing here, but I haven't really thought about, hey, let's get on and see if they got some tickets. My wife actually wants to go see a Coyotes hockey match, So. Yeah, but anyway, so Nathan's actually taken the Eagles by 3. So let's actually kind of get into that, and then we'll kind of finish up with some final thoughts of what we expect to see today. So right now, as of this morning, I'm gonna go put this up here. The Eagles are actually favored by 1.5 over the Chiefs today here in Glendale, and actually I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna take this out first that. I really wish this would have been something where, you're looking at the 85 Bears. They need 5 sacks. They're not going to sack Patrick 5 times today. As much as I might like it to see a newer team in the modern era break a record, there's just no way that is going to happen. But the Eagles' defense is they're just good, and I think their secondary is good. I think the Eagles' run game is good, and they like to take shots, which to me as a coach, you have to do that. You have to stretch the field, and they're not afraid to do that. I'm easily taking the Eagles here to win the Super Bowl in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, you thought we were just going to disagree, but I'm not going to disagree with you.
Oh wow! I thought you'd take Patrick.
No, I mean, I love watching him, and he's, obviously got magic, but the magic in winning games, we know as coaches, all starts with the big boys. And just to see how the Eagles pushed us around, I mean, yeah, we might not have had a quarterback for most of the game, but that didn't matter really on the line. You could see that we were one of the most physical teams in the league, and we got pushed around by the Eagles. So I think if they take that mindset into play today with Kansas City, I just think the Eagles are a more physical team. They're deeper with that physicality, like I was talking about earlier on the defensive side. They're going to put fresh guys in that are very physical. So guys aren't going to get tired. They'll be fresh throughout the whole game. And in a game like this, when it's so big and your momentum and your adrenaline, and who's kind of got that natural dog in them left at the end of the game after that all that adrenaline is worn down, and the end of the game it's a lot and you're tired, and I just think the Eagles have a little bit more left in the tank. I think they're a little bit deeper in those defensive and offensive lines, and I think that's going to be the difference is the big boys, because without whoever wins that battle usually wins games. And I don't think the Eagles will sack Mahomes 5 times either.
No.
He's going to get rid of the ball before they can do it. They might pressure him a lot, but he's going to get rid of the ball before the sacks happen. Because he's not going to want to take hits too. He's still got a bad leg. Who
Sure,
knows?
sure.
Someone falls on you, someone twists you up. Like, I'm sure they've been telling him for 2 weeks, like, hey, if someone gets close, just throw it away. Like, we can't afford for you to get hit and knocked down and something happen worse to that leg where you can't, play. So, yeah, I'm taking. I mean, the spread's so close. It's really a pick 'em. I mean, it's
Right.
1.5, which is great for a Super Bowl. You don't want to see a blowout. No one wants that.
Right.
But yeah, I'll take the Eagles to win this game by 1.5 with that depth on the lines.
Yeah, you said something in there that I had been watching some commentary and stuff about and how the Eagles go about coaching, and they were talking to the defensive coordinator, is that their defensive line is so deep that their goal is to keep their starters fresh. Their goal is to keep their defensive line at 100%. As much as possible during the game, so they have a deep defensive line that are good, and so that they can have their best fresh, in the fourth quarter. And I think that makes a big difference because, a lot of teams, they try to run and they try to pound and wear a defensive line down, but really realistically, Kansas City isn't going to run all over them. And I just think that when it comes down to it, the defensive line for the Eagles are just going to be fresh in the fourth quarter and not going to be pushed around. And I think that could be a big difference. I mean, if you just see that the Eagles are having to throw in the fourth quarter because they're not getting yards on the ground or even off the screenplays. But yeah, so this is gonna be a fun game. I think this is a fantastic matchup. I'm also glad just to kind of see maybe someone a little different, year in, year out. I mean, the Chiefs, yeah, they've been there, but the Eagles, it's been a while. These two teams did play. I think last year the Chiefs got the better of the Eagles 42-30, which was with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, that was quite a shootout as well. But the Chiefs still had Tyreek Hill, and I think maybe today is that first day that the Chiefs are going to miss Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they still have some burners. I also was thinking about just the depth at running back. So if we compare the teams at running back position, you got Hurts back there for the Eagles, but you also have Gainwell that's been playing very well in the playoffs. You have Sanders that had a great season. You got Scott that can come in and get tough yards. And then, on the Chiefs side, you have Ronald Jones, who hasn't really done much as the backup running back there. You have Pacheco, who's fast and he can get outside and make some things happen.
He is quick. Yeah.
But really, they got him. That's all they got in the backfield. And if Patrick can't run very much, you can't put it all on Pacheco. So the Eagles have 3 guys and their quarterback that can run all over on you right now. And that depth, I think, is just, big to have 3 different guys and your quarterback that you can just keep, mixing it up, who's going to get it, and it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to guess, when they do run the ball, if who is going to get the ball or if they're going to play action pass. Because then you look at that too. Look at the wide receiver depth. You got Brown and you got Devontae Smith for the Eagles, 2 guys that can make big plays, do all that. And then, the Chiefs, they got Tony, who's up and down. You got Juju, who's kind of hurt, that can do some stuff. They don't have the depth there, the Chiefs either. If I'm picking a wide receiver core, I'm thinking, oh yeah, they have Brown who could dominate the game, Smith that could make a big play. I don't see that as much for the Chiefs and Mahomes. I mean, it's Kelsey, but if I'm the Eagles, I just double team Kelsey all day and be like, good luck. good luck. Get the ball to anybody else. You
I,
can throw to anyone else on the team. I'm putting a linebacker under him and a safety over him all day. Go ahead and beat us with Tony and Schuster and whoever else you got. Like, I would be locking Kelsey down as much as possible every play.
I think teams have been trying to do that all year, and
Yeah, it's just,
he just finds his way. He's a great route runner. Finds his
yeah.
way to get open. But if you could just hold him short yardage, and and just keep him in check, and eventually they're going to have to go somewhere else. And you said something, Gainwell, the backup for Eagles, he's I think leading the team in the playoffs. So you think it's like, okay, we've got to start it, but our backup's actually doing better right now. So we do have two solid running backs. It's just a tough road if you're the Chiefs. But hey, Nathan, thanks for joining the show. You said you had to run, but and Kim, yes, the game is close to the house. It's about the stadium is maybe 15 minutes away from us. We have some streets out here. The area is really flat around here, and we have some like overpass streets, right? And as soon as you hit those overpasses, you can see. It seems like you can see for 20 miles, but yeah, it's just like 3 minutes down the road, we can hit an overpass, and you can see the Cardinal Stadium out there in the distance. And it takes about 15 minutes and to get there at most. And fun stadium, just a fun stadium. So I'm looking forward to getting back to some Cardinals games next year.
In March, we're going to have to do our scouting when we're there for March Madness so that we'll know where to take the show on the road for the Super Bowl next year in Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas next year.
What a place for us to go and,
Right?
make sure this new software we're using gets a strong enough signal somewhere.
Right.
Run a live show somewhere from the Super Bowl in Vegas next year.
Absolutely. So, any last thoughts for today? This is kind of it. We're next week we'll come back with kind of a recap show, and then we'll kind of Dave and I are going to decide how we're going to continue. What we're going to continue talking about each week, and we're going to diversify a little bit. We've got the other thing that's happening here. So I've already said the Super Bowl, the Waste Management Open, KD coming to town. Yesterday, Leela and I went to lunch, and across the street from where we ate lunch is the San Diego Padres Seattle Mariners facility, and I bet there were 100 buses, like tour buses, right, coaches out there. Spring training players are reporting right here in Arizona, in this area. I think they were maybe having an all hands meeting because you didn't need that many buses for two teams. So I thought maybe they were kind of having everyone meet at this facility. But players are reporting. We're gonna have games starting in the next few weeks here in Arizona as well. And again, it's just you don't think about it. I mean, you think of LA as a huge, sports market, and we still got a lot going on here in Arizona. Love it, and year round there's something you can do and enjoy. So. But yeah,
We'll have to start geeking out after the season a little bit on some of that stuff, and also the NFL draft. We can, maybe start highlighting a few of the top picks that may be coming out. Start scouting that a little bit more and see how that's going to go while the NFL Combine coming along with the NFL draft. So there'll be some NFL things to talk about, and of course, some things have already happened where there's coaches moving around still. There's still coaches being hired. There's free agents that are going to be let go. That we'll all know some of that soon because some of their contracts have to be decided in the spring. Are we going to keep this guy or cut him to make money, available on the cap to go out and get somebody else? So we'll see a lot of probably veterans and, guys like Jimmy Garoppolo from my 49ers. They're going to cut him so they don't have like 10 million on the cap for that. And there'll be a lot of those transactions coming up after the Super Bowl pretty soon too, so teams can be ready for the draft and free agency. And so there'll definitely be some more NFL things to talk about. And then I'm sure we'll get on, our March Madness trip. We'll get on, talk a little bit of college basketball and just what it's like to be there. It'll be your first time being there.
Looking forward to it.
Really excited to see your reaction to probably the busiest time that Vegas has every year is
Really?
March Madness. And it's just a great time and a lot of ball games, a lot of money changing hands back and forth, and every shot counts in Vegas all throughout the tournament, and so that's really fun to watch. So yeah, we'll have probably more golf. Golf just started again. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but it was fun to see because Ricky Fowler's from the town next to me, big huge Ricky Fowler. So to see him kind of in contention, or
Yeah, yeah.
well, was fun yesterday to see he was still in it. So some fun things like that. And the end of the NBA season. We have that All-Star game coming up here in like a couple weeks, and then they only have about 20 games after that until it's playoff time, and the West is up for grabs. That'll be fun to see what happens at the end of the season for that. So yeah, I look forward to just all sorts of different things that we can talk about moving forward.
Yeah, so look forward to it. So, hey, with that, I just wanted to, we'll end the show and just say thanks for Church Music. Or no, I'm sorry. It's Church Music IPA by the Shop Beer Company here and down in Tempe, Arizona, about 25 or so minutes away from us. And so, yeah, thanks. Nice little hazy IPA. Got a little bit left. It's nice. This is really citrusy. Nice, extra, like you said. It's like drinking orange juice with a little kick, So, thanks everyone. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy your friends, your family, whatever you got going on today. Just have a good time. Be safe, of course, and just enjoy it. And we'll see you all next week. Right here, it's 9 a.m. on Sunday, and we'll a little recap. We'll figure out from there. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic day.